All right, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey. This is the Game of Thrones series. So we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones, getting ready for the April premiere of the 8th and final season. But we're doing the Game of Thrones Islay, and this is, I believe, what is it? This is
House Lannister.
This is House Lannister. Yeah, and what is it? I think you were saying each house has their own one, and they went to different distilleries for each one.
Yeah, so it sounds like HBO went to Scotland, toured around, found a bunch of local distilleries there, and now each major house has its own Scotch from a different distillery. So here, Game of Thrones is from Lagavulin, which is in Islay. Looks like it's aged about 9 years. And yeah, so that's the one we're reviewing on this one.
Okay. Yeah, I think I gave a little bit of my review last time. I'm not a huge fan of Islay's at all. I like to make fun of Islay's. It's the one type of whiskey I just do not like.
But is it better than oven roasted flavored candy? Chicken oven roasted candy?
I think it pairs well with a rotisserie chicken candy cane. But what Islay doesn't, you know. So, this is. I sense less Band-Aid. I smell less Band-Aids with this one, so that's good.
It's a little more refined than the Shield Aid.
Yeah, and that's probably for the 9 years. You know?
Yeah, it's not super peaty. It took me a long time to like peat at all. But I call this like medium to mild in the peat region. You know, it's not super peaty or tastes like you've got a mouth of ash.
And I don't know, maybe that's their mash bill, maybe it's the time in the cask, who knows, but
Probably how long they, because they, try to find the words, the barley, it's barley, right? Yeah, the barley, they put it over smoked peat.
peat, that's right, peat, yeah.
Yeah, so how long how much peat and how long they smoke it for?
Yep. So, anyways, Game of Thrones, they're how do we pronounce this here?
House Lannister.
The House Lannister, Lagavulin, Islay single malt Scotch whiskey. Yeah, so that's what we're trying here. So it should be available in your wherever you get your whiskeys from. So, I think next we should talk about what Christmas movies. And, you know, we're not normal people. I don't know if you figured this out. But we don't watch normal Christmas movies. One of my favorites is the movie Carras. And even though it doesn't fit the traditional Krampus, for those of you who don't know, has been around for as long as Santa Claus, if not longer. He is known as the Shadow of Christmas. But a few years ago, was it about 4 years ago, they did a Krampus movie. I love it. I love the ending. It's not a happy Hollywood ending by any means. Basically, the kid gets his wish, but it's kind of like any Creatures of Fae. Things are a little twisted, so and I like that. So Krampus is one of my favorite Christmas movies. Gabe, what's one of yours?
Honestly, well, I have to say one of mine. Well, there's two of them technically that I really look at. One of them has to do with Krampus actually, because you've got the original, and then there's another one that's called A Christmas Horror Story. And Krampus is involved in that in one of the stories that they tell, and that's actually pretty good. But the one that I really like happens to be a classic for a lot of people, at least that I know of, and that has to be Gremlins. Who can say no to Gremlins? It's a great Christmas movie, and it's still, all hell if you think about it. Little evil demonic monsters that are cute at first and then go absolutely rabid.
Is that a metaphor for kids on Christmas?
Kind of. They all become gremlins if you really think about it.
Didn't I read that they were remaking that?
They're remaking everything, so.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that. Now, they had one that was like a really dark, sinister movie called Gremlin that had nothing to do with the Gremlins series.
Like Ghoulies?
But yeah, it wasn't even a reboot or anything. It was okay, but it wasn't really that good.
So Jeff, what are your two?
Die Hard and Die Hard 2. Probably the best Christmas movies ever.
And you know, I gotta say, I think we would probably get some angry comments if somebody didn't say Die Hard.
Well,
Let us know in the comments,
According
please, what you
to
think.
Bruce Willis, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It is a Bruce Willis movie.
Well said.
And his opinion should definitely be respected because it's not like his ego is out of control or anything. Ed, what's your two?
Okay, well, I can't remember what I posted on the site. I don't know if you remember when you asked the question.
I think I remember
I
one of them.
remember 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly.
The Star Wars Christmas special.
Yeah, well, I was going to give that an honorable mention. Honorable mention, the Star Wars Holiday Special. If you haven't seen it, I don't even know if you can find it. I'm sure there are.
YouTube is out
Somewhere on
there.
YouTube, yeah.
Now, is that more painful than eating a whole box of rotisserie chicken candy canes?
It may be, I mean, if you'd like to watch a family of Wookiee speak in Wookiee for 30 minutes or so, really horribly, then that's the thing.
The musical numbers alone will make you want to have some whiskey.
But
The musical numbers alone on that will make you want to have some whiskey.
it is the first place where you ever saw the look. So, anyhow, other than that, I don't remember what I put on the site. Probably Scrooged. I really like Scrooged. That's a really good movie.
Bill Murray.
Yeah, I've got my Scrooge outfit going on here. You can see.
Yeah, I like the Patrick Stewart one as well.
The what?
The Patrick Stewart one as well.
Oh, yes, yes.
So my second one is actually a movie called Long Kiss Goodnight. It was kind of early on in Samuel L. Jackson's career, but kind of the peak of Gina Davis's career. And Gina Davis plays a little, housewife that suddenly is starting to remember that she used to be a contract killer for the government. And so the person, her basically her, what's it called?
Handler?
Her image that her character that she's kind of, what's it called? Her cover.
Persona, yeah.
Yeah, her persona cover. Basically kind of, she forgot that who she really was, and her persona cover became her life. But then all of a sudden she's starting to remember who she really was, and so she's, all of a sudden, next thing you know, she turns into this thing. And Samuel L. Jackson has this great line where he says, one minute you're like, oh my gosh, I burned the muffins. And the next minute you go into a bar and sailors come running out. And so she will suddenly turn into her old person. And then you basically have Samuel L. Jackson, who is normally, we're used to him being a badass. And in this movie, he's kind of trying to not be a bitch. And Samuel L. Jackson trying not to come off like a bitch is highly entertaining because it's Samuel L. Jackson. And Gina Davis is a complete badass, but it's a great Christmas movie, Long Kiss Goodnight, and that's my second pick. So anyways, did everybody give their review of the Islay? I gave mine.
I like it. I like going a little more peaty. This is really good for people just kind of beginning on Islay's.
As far as as far as an Islay goes, it's really mild. As far as a whiskey goes, I really like this. It's decent flavor, smooth finish, good enough. Checks all the boxes for that. If you don't like Islay's, you're not gonna like it because it's an Islay. If you do like Islay's, this is really good. And it's a lot better than rotisserie chicken cane cake.
Yes.
I can definitely agree with that one. The one thing I can honestly say with this is that, it's definitely a very, 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 very peaty flavor, at least for me. But at the same time, still absolutely a delicious Scotch. I don't think I could ever, turn this kind of stuff away. And as far as I'm concerned, I still think it's funny that to this day, I am actually even drinking a Game of Thrones Scotch before I've ever seen a single episode of Game of Thrones.
It doesn't help, man.
Oh, I'm sure I am.
All right,
So we've got till April to watch them all.
I think it's time for the owner of the establishment to come up when he can, and we have a little Christmas present for him. We know that running a bar can sometimes, be a little challenging, and sometimes you need a Christmas present. So as soon as Dogger can find time, I'm probably gonna have to do some special editing because he's very busy, and it may take him a couple of minutes to get up here. So we're going to go into high speed.
All right.
Okay, so in front of the camera, this is something to help you.
He's
I
on
believe
free.
this will really help you with your bar. It doesn't eat
How's
much.
that gonna
don't
help with the
worry.
bar? I don't want it.
I'm not going to ask you more details.
Oh, that's the stress snowball. That will actually.
So when you're having, a little bit, it's Christmassy, so you just say, I'm just being festive. No, I'm not stressed.
That feels like a movie.
Oh, well,
Bonus points.
It's a fake one.
Draw a nipple on it, you're good to go.
If it's real, if you can touch it, it's real.
Well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and drop it.
I think with that note, I think that I think we wish you all a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Krampus Day. That's why we just say happy holidays. It's easier.
Happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
Yeah, that. See you next week
Bah humbug.
on Nerds and Whiskey.